What's up, Grandstand Bettors? It is World Cup Semifinal day number 2. Argentina has already punched their ticket to the big match on Sunday. We're going to look at who will meet them with France and Morocco here. We'll get to our bets, predictions, and the game in just a moment. But first, welcome in the man of the hour, the man who tells us that what soccer is the best thing in the world, and he knows everything about Miss Robinson's third grade team over in Sheffield in the UK, all the way up to the World Cup teams. Mr. Ian Allen, welcome in.
And what an outfit Mrs. Robinson's team is, and I wish they were playing in this World Cup semi-final, but we have to put up with France versus Morocco, a David versus Goliath clash, if ever there was one. France, who are the reigning champions, looking to make it back-to-back World Cup wins. I can't even remember if that's happened before. That would be unprecedented, maybe, if it hasn't. And Morocco, who are... Wow, what a tournament they've had. The first time an African country has ever made it to the semi-finals. Can they go one step further? It would be one of the shocks of all shocks if they pulled that off.
Yes, they are the Cinderella story, if you will, the Goliath or the David of the Goliath story. But they have, listen, as much as we call them the David, are they really maybe becoming the Goliath themselves? Listen to these teams they beat. Belgium, 2-0 in group play. They tied with Croatia, ended up with a draw in group play. They beat Spain on PKs in the round of 16, and then they took down Portugal. They held off a late red card even in that one and took out Ronaldo. So, as much as you call them a Cinderella story, I think at this point, hey, they're the real deal, and that's why they're not actually that heavy of an underdog. In the United States, are really just minus 330 on the money line, or plus 330 on the money line. So they do it by defense, don't they?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's all about the organization of the team, the way they're set up, and the way they play without the ball, which is absolutely key. But France themselves have also got some prize scalps. I believe they beat the greatest side of all time in the quarterfinals.
I can't remember who that was. That USA?
Yeah, it must have been. I think it was.
So.
I think it was Chad,
or maybe it was Miss Robinson's third grade class. I would compare that them to that class any day. Yeah, they do have some big names over there, and you know what? It's a good transition into some lineups here with both teams. Let's start with France. It looks like they're in a 4-2-3-1.
Yep.
And, I mean, all the big names up front that are going to be looking to score as usual.
Yeah, a couple of changes for France from the team that beat England. You've got Fofana's come into midfield instead of Rabiot. And Upamecano is come out of the defence and they've replaced him with Konate. Not really too much news on whether that is form or fitness. I imagine it's more to do with fitness.
Rabiot is actually ill. I do have word that he's ill. Yeah, so that's ill.
Yeah. Well, that's as a bit of a blow that for France. He's been a good player for them in that midfield. Certainly, a really established, seasoned player. Whereas Fofana's a bit more inexperienced. That could be something that Morocco looked to exploit in there. But yeah, those heavy hitters up front. Certainly with Griezmann, who was exceptional against England. Giroud, who never lets France down, and the main man himself, Kylian Mbappe.
Off air right before we got on, you told me. Something I didn't know about that England game. Mbappe didn't have a shot on goal against England. So I guess going into the Moroccan lineup here, what's the key to success to keep him at bay?
Well, England did a good job of... England had Kyle Walker, who's a very good fullback, who's a quick fullback and very experienced, and he did a good job of kind of snuffing him out. But England also were very, very conscious of Mbappe and almost maybe overcommitted with getting bodies around him and making sure the supply was cut off to him. But it's a balance, right? Because you can cut supply after him, but it does give options to the other players. They've still got Griezmann, who for times controlled that game. You've still got Dembele on the other flank, and you've still got players like Tchouaméni, who came up and rocketed one in from about 30 yards in that game. So yeah, you can't just focus on him. He's not the only one that's going to hurt you, but I think that Morocco will be they kind of they focus on doubling up, so they don't leave players one-on-one. So they're much more organised as a defensive unit than England are. So I doubt there'll be many times where they leave Mbappe just one-on-one running at any one defender. So I think but that doesn't mean they'll be able to stop him because he's still bloody good.
Right. So Morocco is playing a 5-4-1. And we'll get into our predictions in a minute. But from an American standpoint, when I look at that, that looks like a lot of people not trying to give up a goal there in the back.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, it's been their key to success. They can see. I mean, that's the thing. Morocco, and this is astounding. They've conceded one goal in the tournament, and that was an own goal. So no offensive player has scored against them in the whole tournament, and that is pretty incredible. And even when Spain took penalties against them, they barely scored one either. But Morocco have been 4-3-3 throughout this tournament, but when they've been out of possession, they've been more like 4-1, 4-1. So they're pretty much playing like 10 men behind the ball, and then just maybe leaving one man up front. So they've kind of cut that out in this one. 5-4-1, very much all about denying space for the French, playing without the ball, playing disciplined. But that doesn't mean they're not a threat on the counter-attack. And when they do break, they break with a lot of skill and with a lot of pace. And that could really be something France need to be worried about.
And who's their most likely goal scorer? Is it Nesri up front?
Yeah, he's the main guy. I mean, he's the main focal point of the attack. I would say their main kind of creative players behind that are Boufal and Ziyech, but they also get a lot of width coming up from their fullbacks in Hakimi and Mazawi. But the main goal threat is definitely En-Nesyri, who scored that beautiful headed goal against Portugal, where he kind of leapt unbelievably high. Like, I don't know how he got up that high.
Well, yeah. I still think the goalkeeper, that was on him, but whatever. So with this team, it does look like they're going to be defensive. Do you think their goal in this game is to take it to PKs, or do you think they really might want to punch France in the face first? Because we were just talking about France hasn't too much had adversity in games. They got down early in one of their first matches, but then came right back. And then the Tunisia one, I throw out the window because they didn't need that game. They didn't care about the game. And even late in that game, they really could have cared less to nick a point or anything in that.
Yeah, France are a very well-drilled tournament side, right? These players have all been there, done it for France. They've been there, done it for their club side. So they're used to kind of get situations where they have to play against sides that defend deep. And they're used to situations where they might go a goal down and have to find a way back into a game. So they'll never, unless it goes very deep in this game and France are losing, I don't expect them to panic at any stage. They'll back themselves to find a way. Morocco, I don't think there's many times you go into a game looking for penalty kicks. It's a lot of football that needs to be played to get there. I think they will still think they can score a goal. Yeah. I think that ultimately they are relying on keeping this game extremely tight, denying the French space, working in that kind of organised back nine, if you like. But they also have a good goalkeeper in there with Bono, which helps when needed. He's pulled off some great saves. But it's all about trying to get bodies around these French players, stop denying them space, stop them playing through their key players, and just basically trying to frustrate them by creating like a wall of defense. And then when they do get a chance to break, playing big switches, that what they do is either get people that run through the lines or they play huge raking balls over to the opposite side where people are usually free. They drive forward at pace and try and create chances that way. So very much a counter-attacking side that will try to sucker France in and then hit them when they've committed too many bodies forward.
So teams are on the pitch. They are singing, I believe, the national anthem of France right now. By the way, I don't know if you saw the media that's there right on that pitch taking pictures. Man, dude, it is a circus down on the field right now. But let's get into our predictions and our bets. I'll start us off. I got 2 bets in this game that I gave out to our members at Grandstand Bettors. They're the exact same as yesterday, and I'm going to explain why. We're over 2.5 goals. Actually, that wasn't. It was just corners yesterday. But over 2.5 goals in this game. I think this game is going to be – I think we're going to finally see a first-half goal. Well, we saw 2 yesterday, but it has kind of got better in the first halves. But anyways, I think we're going to see a first-half goal. To be honest with you, I don't know who comes out and punches first. if I'm the underdog team, I want to come out strong and see if I can't maybe, to use the boxing analogy, knock them down right away, get them lying on the mat, and then seeing if I can't continually just keep pounding away and end up with a decision that goes my way. But I'm also going over 8.5 goals. And this one, to me, I think
whoa, 8.5 corners.
Or 8.5 corners, thank you. 8.5 corners, because this one, to me, to be honest, I think it's an easy bet, and I know that's stupid to say, but France against the lower tiered teams, which I think in like 5 of the 6 games or 4 of the 5 games, they've hit 8 or 9 corners themselves. And Morocco, although they don't tend to get too many corners, they're giving up about 7 to 9 corners a game as well. So I can see an onslaught of, Mbappe, Giroud, Griezmann, just constantly putting pressure and getting some corners, because the way that Moroccans are sitting back now, if they're going to just play a defensive style, I don't think they're going to care about giving up corners. And if you go back to the Portugal game where they were down to 10 men, but even before they were down 10 men, Portugal just constantly was taking corners in the late, portion of that game. So I think there's going to be a lot of corners. I did have a little side bet that I did on my own. I think Mbappe is going to put 2 shots on goal. We talked about that off air. I don't think he can go back to back without having shots on goal. But my final score prediction in this one, I'm going France 3 and Morocco 1. That's what I said yesterday. I'm going to stick with it.
Well, I like the corners bet, and I think there will be a lot of block shots and like block crosses. So expect that ball to be flying like all over the place. So that likelihood of France getting a lot of corners is probably very high. I don't think there's going to be as many goals. I think I am going to go for a France win, but I think it's only going to be 1-0.
Ooh, really?
So yeah, we're not.
Right.
I don't think we're in for the most exciting game. I think France will get a goal, and and then I think that will. The dynamic of the game will change quite a lot, and France will just kind of when France do go up in a game, they do like to sit quite back off teams and sit quite deep themselves. So I don't know if Morocco will be able to adjust with that, how they will adjust to that style of having to chase a game, and that's why I think France will just kind of keep them at arm's length and not really worry about getting a second. So yeah, 1-0 France for me.
All right, well, there's our predictions, guys. That's Ian at Ian OUFC on YouTube. Make sure you go subscribe. Huge Oxford United fan, as he tells us constantly. We don't care because we're Wickham supporters. But I'll tell you this right now. I disagree with you. I think you're right, though, in one sense. It is going to be a boring game, just like yesterday's game was boring.
Yeah.
But there still was 3 goals. I'm telling you, as much as it's going to be all France. It's going to be all France. I don't see any shot of Morocco even getting close to this. And I would not be surprised if we don't see a goal in the first 5 minutes of this game. That's how much I'm supporting France today. I think they get it done. Guys, if you're just joining us in the chat, put your predictions in the chat today. I'm going to make a deal with you. If there is a exact score winner or winners, I will raffle off a sweatshirt, and I will make sure we get in contact with you through YouTube, and we'll give that away if you get the score prediction right. So put that in the chat right now. We're just minutes or seconds now to get underway here in the World Cup semifinal, game number 2. Who's going to face Argentina in the final? You got to think FIFA's rooting for France, and we are underway.
Yeah, well, I think we're both rooting for France as well, aren't we? I mean, Morocco's story is wonderful and great, but in terms of what we want to see in the final, I think we'd rather see that kind of 2 juggernaut sides going at it with France versus Argentina in that final. But if Morocco get there, that's a wonderful story in its own right.
It is. And, hats off to them for what they've done in the tournament. Can't take anything away from them.
Yeah, so I think I'm about 20 odd seconds ahead of you, as always. So in mine, you've just seen the first example of France trying to attack down the right-hand side and Morocco snuff them out. And then the player I don't expect to see many bombing runs going forward is Amrabat, who's usually there very much rocking the midfield, holding midfield player. But he gets the ball, charges forward up the left wing, but he is snubbed out, and Morocco win a throw-in high up the pitch. But Morocco for me, it can't be overstated, really. The organisation of this Morocco side. I mean, yeah, it's very easy to say that they're a side that plays without the ball and plays out of possession and keeps a well organised shape, but that's easier said than done. You've got to have players that are willing to do that for 90 minutes and are good enough to do that for 90 minutes. And it's a big credit to their coaching staff that they've been able to do it. You do wonder that maybe they might start to get a bit fatigued of having to do that for as many games as they've had to do it for. But so far, they haven't shown any.
I know we're 2 minutes in and this is an overreaction, but it looks like both teams are ready to play some soccer. Very fast movement right off the bat. No methodical midfield, right? From the start.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing about watching a side like Morocco is they don't fuck around with the ball as much. As I say that, they are passing the ball around their back line, but usually when they get the ball, they are very direct and they want to get forward as quickly as they can. They've got a lot of pace in the side as well, certainly in the wide areas, and they are they're very efficient with their attacking play as they are in defence as well. But France aren't a pressing side either. So if Morocco have got the ball, France aren't a side that's going to go in and really in their face to try and win it back. They'll just sit off them and let them have it a little bit, really. So it's maybe might not be the best thing for Morocco. They'd rather have a side who's kind of like in their face the whole time.
If you're considered the better team in this spot, which France is, do you just play your game, or do you kind of maybe take the first 5-10 minutes and see how Morocco wants to play the game? Do you ever sit back? Because and let me just use this as an example. Like when in American football, a quarterback will come out, he'll line up his play, he'll look over what the defense is doing. They might call a timeout, and they might change it, according to what they see. Is there something? Do they do that in soccer? Is that anything that happens like that?
Possibly a little bit. I wouldn't say it's anything. It is a bit of a weird thing. Sometimes you do get sides that start really fast, and I don't know. It's not really something I've ever really thought about. Really, I mean, you do get those little pockets of play where one side dominates the other early on. I wouldn't say that's anything any side goes into it saying, let's just hold off them and have a look at them a little bit. I think you kind of always want to try and start on the front foot and lay a marker down.
Well, I would imagine you want to, because God forbid you give up a quick goal or something because you're just sitting back. But
France with a nice ball to Griezmann, who's got in behind the French back line. This could be that early goal, but Morocco brilliant at getting players around it. Still drops to France. And Matt, you are a fucking genius, my friend.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you? Ha ha! Let's go. Let's go, sir.
1-0 to France. It was a ball in behind the back line. For once, Morocco don't defend it well, and Griezmann gets in behind, and then he pulls the ball back to Giroud, I believe, who is crowded out with a load of bodies, but they are able to get a shot away and not clear the ball, and the ball drops to Hernandez, who I actually thought was defensively the weak link in this side, but certainly not a weak link going forward, and he's in space. Not the easiest to finish, but he's done really well to guide that into the corner, hit it low into the goal. Can't be cleared off the line. And for the first time in this tournament, Morocco find themselves behind, and it is a nightmare start for them.
That is a nightmare start. One that I called, and I'm going to tell you that for the rest of the
That's
stream.
Fine, man.
But yeah, I'm telling. And actually, I wish somebody would have gone and bet that, because it was probably at some good money. I'll tell you here, though, what a finish. Look how he gets on the end of that kick. And
very easy to make a mess of that. With the ball bouncing that high, you could very 100%. Easily miss kick it. But he's done really well, to keep it down, get it on target. And so, yeah, there we go. That's the dynamic of this game changes pretty much straight away. We'll see how Morocco respond to that. That's really the first time France have gone forward, really, and Morocco have conceded. They're bound to be a little bit shell-shocked by that, and they probably just need to calm down for 5 minutes now and regroup and make sure they don't go 2-0 down within the first 15, 20 minutes of this game.
Yeah, and that's what I thought was going to happen in this game. We saw it yesterday. We saw the better team. Now, it took 30 minutes for Argentina to really break through in that one. I just think Morocco's in a position where they're just happy to be here, and they are David. They're playing Goliath, and I know in that fable or whatever, it's David wins, but not today, not on this pitch. It's just not going to happen. Now, I'll be interested to see how they come back and if they can win. But yeah,
that always reminds me. Literally, I could never think of that without thinking of that thing from The Simpsons when Homer says it's like David versus Goliath, but this time David will win. Yeah, it is that those factors are absolutely true. I mean, for Morocco, it's like they didn't expect to be in this semi-final. It is the game of their lives, but they have broken a line here and they're attacking down the right hand side with Hakimi. But they are dispossessed really well in midfield, and France can break on them now. But Morocco still do have quite a lot of bodies back, so it's not going to be an easy chance. They've got the ball out wide to Mbappe, who gets a bit of space. He's crowded out, but the ball comes to the edge of the box, and France go back with Griezmann, and they're back on the halfway line. So yeah, that was Morocco. Just have to just. There's still loads of time left in this game. You don't need to panic. You don't need to go searching. Just stick to
but
what
a second goal given up really puts you in the exact same position Croatia did. And I understand this goal came, 30 minutes before Argentina's first goal yesterday. But it doesn't matter. That just means that there's more time for France to get a third and a fourth goal.
It does. Yeah. I mean, they got to. I mean, you'd imagine they must have prepared for this. There's no way they haven't gone into any of these games and thinking, what do we do if we go a goal down early? Mm-hmm. I imagine the main message is what I've just been saying is don't go absolutely crazy, overcommitting, trying to get back into the game. You've still got 80 minutes plus all the injury time to score one goal. And that's what they'll be relying on at the moment. If they go down 2-0, then yeah, that changes it massively.
Yeah, this is the one time I will say that you do not have to be in that hurry mode that I've been screaming for all, just play your match. You're down 1, get the goal and tie it up if you can. Now, with that said, though, I mean, it's a tall order. And I will say you do have to look to be probably a bit more aggressive. Now, that goal, though, Ian, very similar to the second goal by the Argentinians, where it was kind of a pinball and the ball just kind of fell at the right spot. Just
going to say here, Morocco with a shooting chance for the edge of the box. Wonderful effort. Great save by Hugo Lloris down to his his left-hand side. But that was Morocco actually playing some very nice football, actually, in midfield. Had a lot more of the ball than I thought they would so far. But it's Unahi, who gets a bit of space, is able to run at the back line. Nice effort from 25 yards, something like that. But smart save from Lloris down to his left-hand side. You'd expect him to save it, but it needed to be made.
No corner, though.
No corner, but encouraging from Morocco. Yeah. The play actually looking pretty tidy on the ball. Players coming to feet, getting the ball, people spinning in behind. Certainly probably seen a lot more of the ball so far than what we expected in this first 10 minutes.
There's no way France is starting to sit back this early. This is just Morocco taking it to them.
Yeah, a little bit. But as I said again, France aren't a real pressing side or anything like that. So they do just normally sit off teams a little bit. Actually, one stat I saw quite interestingly is France are once France do go a goal up in a game, their possession stats drop dramatically. Wow. And they really just sit back and just let you have it and then just try and hit you on the counter-attack. That's a really nice effort.
Some good ball handling there on the right side, by the way. Are they? They're not going to call that foul there, are they?
No.
No. That looked like a dive, if anything, from Mbappe. Or offsides, I guess. But, actually, if you want to talk about possession, Morocco, almost 70%. And I know we're only 10 minutes in, but still.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just seeing a little bit of signs that are just worrying me. Morocco are very much getting out and pressing that French back line a little bit. And France just knocked that around them quite easily in midfield, but they have got back in their shape now. Morocco really.
Are you saying you're worried for Morocco, or you're worried for the French defense?
There's one little play there where I just thought Morocco were just a little bit overcommitting, trying to win that ball back, and France kind of knocked it around them. It was in the defensive third, but it was just kind of like, they don't need to kind of go crazy, but they're back in their defensive shape now. I mean, balls with Griezmann, and one of the things Morocco just do so well is they almost like what they did against Spain is like Spain have got like one, like what we call quarterback, if you like Busquets, who dictates the whole play, and they like to get the ball into him, and he like dictates where they're going to go and attack. And they pretty much just stopped every ball going into him. So it just meant Spain were just almost like horseshoeing the ball around from left to right and couldn't really go anywhere. And we're just getting more and more frustrated the more and more the game went on. But Griezmann he's not a more intelligent footballer than Busquets, but he's a bit more mobile. He pops up in like a lot of different areas of the pitch. So I think they'll have a harder job containing him.
Well, because
the ball coming into him.
He's the crosser, right? He's the crosser of the team.
Yeah, well, he's a bit everywhere. He's a bit more of he's more of the playmaker in midfield and attack. How he's evolved as a footballer has been pretty extraordinary, really, because he was an out-and-out centre forward, and he's kind of evolved into every different position the sides wanted him to play, and done really well at doing it. And at the moment, he's playing this kind of attacking midfield, stroke midfield role for France, where they want him to pick the ball up all the time and then play the balls out wide, play the balls into Giroud. And I would never have thought he was a player that was good enough to do that, but he's not only doing it, he's flourishing in that role.
I'm a little surprised that wasn't a foul there by the Morocco player with the two-handed push in the defensive third. I don't know. Why do they let stuff like that go?
I mean, Christ, are we on inconsistencies of referees already?
Right.
Luka Modric was going crazy apparently at the referee yesterday.
How was the media coverage of the ref after we
not much. I mean, I just saw something today at Croatia, and Modric were pretty pissed off, think he was a poor referee, and I haven't heard too many people debate. There was a bit of debate around that penalty, but I think most people have come to the consensus that it probably was. And after that, it's just been a bit of a, to use a crude term, a bit of a messy wank fest, really. So we got Hakim Ziyech to deliver a ball in from deep. Good ball in. French able to clear it. Not going to go out for a corner, though, Matt, and French can bring this ball forward with Hernandez. Shows a long raking ball up. Brilliant control by Dembele on the half term, and he can start the French down the right-hand side, but Morocco flood back in numbers, and there's already like 7 or 8 players around the ball. And it's all slowed down, and France are in possession in midfield.
Yeah, there was a nice ball in. Unfortunately, they no height there to get up and over this time. I know this is going to be probably might get nobody's chatting in the chat anyway, so I probably won't get yelled at for this. But the Moroccan fans, I know they're in Africa, but what's up with the sombreros? They look like they're from Mexico. Is the sombreros a big Moroccan thing? I know. If you go to Epcot at Disney World, I think they do have, maybe some sombreros there. But I mean, I don't. It just looked funny to me.
I wouldn't have thought so. I don't think they are. I think maybe they just. I've no answer to that. I don't know.
You're going to stay politically correct and neutral.
Well, I've never associated sombreros with Morocco, but I might be wrong. So Morocco coming forward at pace now. Great attack. Got a shooting chance on the right-hand side. It's a bit of a tame effort, though. I think that is by Ziyech, but that was a lovely move. Again, cut through France quite easily through midfield as a half turn. I think by Boufal, who broke a line and just drove forward, and Ziyech was in space on that right-hand side, but he was unable to get a shot away, and it just scuffed behind for a goal kick. But definitely some encouraging signs from Morocco. And as I say that, a ball's just bounced over their head, and Giroud's in on goal, and Giroud fires it wide. That was a great chance for France to go 2-0 up. It's their leading goal scorer of all time, Olivier Giroud. shocking bit of defending by Morocco again. A ball's just allowed to bounce over the centre-back. Giroud in on goal, and it actually, Matt, is a good save by... No, it's at the post. It's at the outside of the post and gone wide.
Oh, God, it did.
I couldn't see that on the first angle. It looked like he blazed it wide, but no, it's clipped the outside of the post and gone wide. So Morocco...
That was a nice shot. Is that a little bit because maybe Morocco is overplaying up front?
No, that was just shit defending. That was just a long ball forward. The defender's misread the bounce. It's gone over his head, and Giroud ran forward on goal. That was just poor defending. Nothing more than that.
All right. Well, 18th minute here, and 1-0 France. If you guys are just coming in, please put your predictions in the chat. Would love to know how it's going to end. Does Morocco come back and tie this up before halftime, or is France just going to run away with this? There's been good opportunities on both sides so far.
It has been, yeah. It's been much more open than I thought. There's been, other than the goal, there's been 2 or 3 goal scoring opportunities. Morocco with one of their trademark switches of play out to this left-hand side to Mazraoui, but he can't win the battle with Koundé, and that is out for a throw into France. Morocco, Morocco bit patched up as well. I mean, I don't know how fit some of these players are. There are quite a few injuries going into this game in their back line, so I don't know whether these guys are 100% fit. But obviously they're not going to want to miss this game being like the biggest game they're probably ever going to play in.
Yeah, and they've had some decent time off in between games, right?
It's not huge. I mean, it's like 3 or 4 days.
As a soccer player, what is your ideal to get back to 100%? Like, the NFL plays every single Sunday.
Good ball in by Ziyech. That's going to be caught by Lloris. I think it differs between managers and players. I think I think most of them will probably say they'd like to play week to week, just one game a week. Gives you time to rest and recover pretty well. But then I hear different things, right? I hear that players, most ex-players, when they talk, they just come out and say they hated training. All they wanted to do was just play. So I always just think when the managers come out and talk about, there's too many games, I just think players are just like, fuck it, I just want to play. I would say, from what I've heard of players, they say the next day you need probably, I would say at least 4 to 5 days is probably pretty much what you need
to get back to 100%.
I would say so.
Yeah.
They say first day after is a recovery day. They say 2 days after you're still kind of feeling the effects of the game.
Sure.
And then after the 3rd day, you're kind of back to kind of your regular training schedule.
Yeah. So the only long break that you kind of get in the tournament is between the group and the 16.
Yeah, I mean I thought that was a really long break actually between the quarter. I mean, England and France had like 6 days off, which was
every team got about 5 to 6 days. Yeah,
which is maybe why you saw that game being played at quite a pace, because it was like 2 fresh sides. Early change for that's a real blow for Morocco. This is what literally I just called this. Saiss was one of their players that was struggling with injury before this game.
Yeah,
and he's just gone off injured again. So
like
one of their key defenders has just come off, and Amala, who played came on and played most of the, or not most, but a lot of the quarterfinal, has just come in and replaced him.
For sure. Welcome in, guys. I see more people joining us in the chat. Put your predictions. Smash that like button if you could. Let's get up to 10 likes. Let's get. I know.
Be the first person. One person to put a score prediction in. Be that first person.
Take the lead.
On. We know you can do it. Take the lead.
And you already know France is going to have one.
Yeah. I predict 1-0 Morocco. No, wait.
From this point out?
Actually, no, sorry. Yeah, no, I'm sticking with it. I'm going to put my mortgage on it. Right.
It settled down here in the last couple minutes a bit.
Yeah, there's a little bit. I mean, but early substitution for Morocco, that's not great for them. It's all kind of gone a bit. It's all kind of not been the dream start, put it that way, for them. Going down to a goal early on in the first 3 or 4 minutes of the game from Hernandez means France have really just been able to sit in control of this one. But Morocco have shown quite a few signs of life, I would say. They're not playing bad at all. But it's certainly not been a dream start.
Yeah, and in all honesty, as time goes on here, France is not going to be too more worried about scoring. I think they want to get one more just to kind of give them a cushion. But if they get a second goal, I could see them sitting back a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely right. Sorry, I was just watching this Morocco attack, and it's been a lot more. Morocco have been a lot more possession-based in this game than what we've seen in a lot of the other games, and they're actually playing some pretty good football. But it's a lot slower than what they usually do. And France, you feel that France are quite able to defend it quite easily. But it is quite nice to see that Morocco have got like a different string to their bow. They're not just going to play in one dimensionally, but. We will see if that's going to be enough to get them back into it.
Yeah, they're playing a lot of triangle passing right now. A lot of give and go, kind of slowing it down. It reminds me of like a Spanish side or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. You know? Yeah, it's a lot more. It's a lot slower in possession than what we've seen.
Yeah,
but that's not necessarily a bad thing. That they, you know, that they will. They'll feel that they're still well in the game, and they'll still feel that they can create quite a few chances.
I hate when they pass back to the goalie. I can't stand that.
Oh, is it Morocco trying to play out from the back? They don't look the most comfortable at doing it. Nearly give the ball away. I thought the goalie was going to actually let the ball in then, but he didn't. But they do win the ball back in midfield, but then France do win it back, but that's a free kick to Morocco on the halfway line.
You know what's funny about this game, and I don't know why it's looking this way to me, but in America we call it bumblebee. Like when the 3-year-olds all kind of like get together in a group and they just move as a swarm.
Yeah,
there's times in areas where there's like 15 guys in one little area, and it's just kind of interesting. I haven't seen that too much in games. It's being played in close quarters.
You do see. I mean, that's the thing with certainly with Morocco as well. They do kind of almost do move as like a hive mind. It's like they all kind of like move over into one area of the pitch, as a group. So you do see those little clusters of play when they do play. But I think that you can see that like France are just barely committing players forward to press Morocco at all. And because they're very wary of the fact of Morocco, how quickly they can break on them. But Morocco are moving this ball around in midfield really nicely. They've got a little shooting chance now, but the ball is blocked on the edge of the box, and France might be able to spring a counter-attack here. Mbappe runs forward, but that's a sloppy pass for Mbappe. He gives the ball away, and Dembele has to make a foul on the halfway line, and Morocco get another free kick. Could be a yellow card there. Bit lucky to not get one. It was a very cynical pullback on Nahui in the midfield there. But I like the way Morocco are actually playing. I actually think they're moving the ball around really nicely. They're actually kind of in their little passing triangles, but they're getting around France, and they are moving the ball into some pretty difficult areas. They're just at the moment, they're just not able to kind of like get that key cross or that key shot away. But got a chance to run down the right-hand side now. Oh, is that going to be a penalty? Oh, I thought that might have been a penalty there. Might be. I think the referee's given a yellow card for a dive here from the Moroccan player for Boufal for a dive. But I actually looking at the French back line, England had a lot of joy attacking the French down the left-hand side with Saka. Hernandez, the goal scorer, I don't think he is the best defender in their team. And I think down that left-hand side, he could be vulnerable. And you do see that is a strength of Morocco with Ziyech and Hakimi down that right-hand side. So it certainly is no surprise to see Morocco attacking more down the right-hand, their right, France's left, which is where that attack has recently come from. But haven't seen a replay of it, but Buffal has been booked for flopping, as you call it in the States.
To be fair, though, he did get hit on. Looking at the replay, it did look like he did come into contact with the French player.
They've not shown a replay of it here. I'm just seeing a replay of the goal. So we'll see if they show a replay of that one in a minute.
Yeah, he did. Now the French player hit the ball first, but I mean, weren't we talking about this yesterday? Does it matter if it's in the box? Because then, if you still get taken down, you're still taken down.
I literally haven't seen a replay of it, so I don't know. I don't know why I'll let you know if I see.
Now they're showing. Now I'm seeing this goal again, and that's just it's a great finish there. There were two guys on the line too who couldn't keep it out.
No, yeah. The guy tried. The guy tried to, didn't he? He took a big whiff.
He did. He did. Yeah.
No, I haven't seen a replay of that though, Matt. So I'm at your. I can't give you a view of whether I thought.
So what essentially happens is the French player, kicks the ball and he kind of half slid there. After the ball's away and he's continuing his slide, the Moroccan player who kind of reached half-heartedly for the ball kicks or runs into his shin and trips over his shin. I'm not saying it is a penalty. I'm just saying that there was contact. I'm not sure. I think a dive in that situation is maybe not warranted or a card for that.
Morocco will be saying, like, you give a guy a yellow card for that. As Morocco do break now with Buffal, but France are able to get bodies back around him. And that's a really poor ball back. And Giroud has won that ball back for France. He looks like he's fouled just inside the Moroccan half, and France are going to have a free kick. But referee gives a yellow card to a Moroccan player for that. But like a minute earlier, Dembele with a real, like, not a bad foul, but a foul where he's not trying to win the ball and he's literally just trying to pull the guy back because he's scared of a counter-attack. Yeah. And he doesn't get a yellow card for that, but the Moroccan player gets a yellow card for the first thing he does.
See, like, I feel like that foul on Giroud was more of a yellow card than the other one.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. Weird, isn't it? Like, that was, again, a cynical foul. He's not trying to win the ball. He's literally just trying to stop Giroud from running forward.
I think you're muted somehow. I don't know. Hold on. Something happened.
Is there something else I can't help with?
I guess Siri all of a sudden wants to talk. Hold on.
I'm not sure I understand.
What is going on? Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. I don't know what was going on my...
Well, it's a good time to come back because Morocco are attacking down their right, the French left. It is with Ziyech who's cutting across field. He comes back to Mazwawi. I'm saying these pronunciations really badly, by the way. Buffal trying to get a bit of space. Plays it into Mazraoui behind. Is he going to be offside? The flag hasn't gone up yet. It does go up now. It was offside. But no, again, another pretty decent attack from Morocco. They are moving the ball very nicely, just not being able to create anything clear-cut. But they're certainly encouraging the way they're sort of passing the ball around, that they are eventually going to create a chance or two.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Morocco does score in this game, which tells me that France really should put another one in.
This is a decent Moroccan side. I'm telling you, I've been impressed. They've gone a goal down early, and I've actually been impressed with the way they've played. They're not. I actually think they're a very, very, very good side. Yeah, maybe they're having the tournament of their lives, and maybe the players are playing better than they would do normally. But they're not intimidated by this French side. They're not just like sitting back and like, letting France kind of dictate the play. They're definitely taking a game to them.
If Morocco was somehow to win the World Cup this year, would it be the equivalent to Leicester winning the Premier League, or would it be even actually more than that? From an odds standpoint, it'd be Leicester City still, but
so difficult. It's I think the Leicester City one is more amazing.
Yeah.
Just because to do it over 38 games of a season.
Yeah, because you can find lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a kind of a 5-6 week tournament.
Yeah.
Again, you could compare it. I'd say it's more. You could compare it to maybe like a shock winner of a tennis tournament or something like that.
Sure.
But certainly would be. I think it would be the most. It'd be the most shocking World Cup win ever, without a doubt.
Yeah.
But they've still got there's still a goal down in this game, and they have given up possession to France, and France are running in through them with Mbappe on the edge of the box, gets it back on the edge of the area, shot from Tchouaméni, I think, or it might have been Fofana, and that is going to be offside anyway, so that stops the play. But that's the thing. Yeah, they are playing well, but they are still one down, and they are one down to the reigning and defending champions who show them that if Morocco are sloppy, they're going to pick them off on the counter-attack.
Yeah, and that is probably how I would assume France is going to get their second goal is by just utilizing maybe a Morocco overcommitting or something like that, and then just running the field. But yeah.
But as Griezmann brings the ball forward to France, he gets the ball out to Dembele. There's a lot of Moroccan players around him, but he's able to get his cross in. Is that going to be a corner? I think we've got our first corner of the game.
It's about damn time. It took 34 minutes.
I know. It hasn't been I mean, that's the trouble with the opening goal being so early as well.
It does, because it changes the priorities of teams.
Whereas we didn't see the attack versus defense that we thought we were going to see because France scored so early. But yeah, so French corner, chance for them to, Griezmann's over this corner kick. I don't think they've been the greatest side at scoring goals from set pieces. Or I might be wrong with that, but
that barely got out, by the way.
Yeah, I know. It didn't. Going to be a shot on goal. That's gone miles over the bar from Fofana. It was the sort of thing where the defender would have ran for the ball straight away. He would have kept it in, but he sort of stopped and then ran after, then realised he could have got it and ran after it.
Well, maybe he's got the over on the corners too.
He probably does. He probably does. Match fixing is rife in football.
This is oh my God, that was a horrible effort. That's worse to me. Why not play that into a space? Why even try that? Your back was really the goal when you shot that, or half to goal. It just,
I think that's the old Russia blood to the head.
I guess
where if he could take it back again, he'd probably do what you said. But at the moment, he sees a bouncing ball in the penalty area, and he just thinks, "I'm just going to thrash it forward and score a wonder goal."
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm sorry, man, but you're not Hernandez. You can't do that.
Beautiful ball forward from France. They're in behind again. It could be 2-0, but it is cleared off the line by Morocco. But they get the ball back in, and that's another wonderful chance for Giroud, where Morocco failed to get the ball out from deep. Giroud was in acres of space, takes a first-time shot from the penalty spot, skews it wide, but that was France driving through this Moroccan defence. Mbappe actually on the overlap of Hakimi gets it past the goalkeeper, but it's cleared off the line. When it comes back into Giroud, he just spins his shot on the turn wide. He had more time there than he thought. He could have taken a touch.
Also, if he lets that go through his feet, there's a man. Mbappe's right there for the put in empty net goal too.
Yeah, but that's what we've just talked about, how well Morocco were playing, but France have just shown them just in the last 5 minutes that they are a shark in the water, ready to strike. Crikey, that was nearly. They're not inspiring me with confidence playing out from the back here, Morocco. And the goalie nearly gets picked off by Griezmann, but they're able to play out of it and come forward. But then they're nice move down the left-hand side, but France are able to pick them off. And that's going to be a free kick to France in midfield.
If I'm the French team right now, my goal is to try to put one in here, a second one by half, because I just think that's going to put it away.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, we saw the difference, didn't we? Argentina got that goal just before half-time to make it 2-0, almost killed the game.
Yeah.
Completely put the game to bed.
Really did.
But I tell you what, I wish more sides played like Morocco, like in possession.
Mm-hmm.
I wish more sides played in the way that these Moroccan players play. Like get the ball, run, drive forward, try and make things happen rather than sideways pass, sideways pass, sideways pass. At least they play. You cannot fault the way they play with a lot of purpose and intent.
True.
But now we're back in the usual pattern of play that we see with players passing it around the back line.
Morocco looks super physical in this game. It looks like I'm surprised we haven't seen more yellows, to be honest with you. And the one yellow we saw, I don't think was warranted.
No, there's been a few bad tackles that could have been yellow cards other than that. But Morocco lose it out to France again in midfield. Although France, all they do is go back and they got the ball back in possession on the halfway line. Yeah, but I think that's going to be a Moroccan game plan. I think they've done that a bit through the tournament, relied on kind of being a bit brutish, getting in people's faces, making it difficult. And so I'm not really surprised by that. Also, there's kind of a tendency of, although we did book a guy for simulation, you do see referees kind of a bit hesitant to start brandishing yellow cards early in a game because they don't like to. They don't really like to give people yellow cards and red cards too early.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that just
which again leads into the stupid inconsistencies because you make those sort of fouls on the 70th minute and you get a yellow card, but you do it in the 20th minute and you don't. But France in behind again. Griezmann running forward. Griezmann is tackled in the box, goes out for one of those elusive corner kicks.
All right.
Let's
go. Because the over is not looking good as much as it did in the first 5 minutes.
Got a bit lucky with that one. I think that should have been a goal kick. It looked like it came back off Griezmann, but that doesn't matter. It's given as a corner.
Let's go. Let's get a second goal. Second goal.
What you want to hear is a little flurry. You want this to be 3 or 4 corners in a row here, man.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm seeing that.
France, I don't know whether the effort, the energy level just seems to have dipped a little bit at Morocco in the last 5 minutes, and France is starting to create a lot more chances.
Blood in the water.
A bit more.
Blood in the water.
That is a very nice corner into the near post, and that is number 4 from France, Varane, up from the back. He's too far out from the front post to be able to guide it on goal, but not a bad little corner routine from France. Rather than going for a high ball into the box, go for a low one at the near post. Nearly caught Morocco out, but goes wide of the goal, and it is a goal kick.
Yeah, a little flick on.
Flea flicker.
Oh my God, don't even get me started. The Browns gave up a massive flea flicker this past week. That was just embarrassing.
Do you ever see an American Dad where Roger put a bet on that a side would run 32 flea flicker plays in a row?
In a row, yeah. And then it hit.
Because he's the coach.
Yeah. That was great. Do you get the new episodes over there?
I mean, we do. I mean, they might be a bit behind what you haven't, but they do. I don't watch it as much as I used to. I used to kind of watch them a lot more. I've gone off them a bit in the last few years, but I still, when I do watch them, I still find American Dad more than Family Guy for me.
So I started changing. I was a Family Guy for their first 15 seasons. But then they started kind of, I don't know. It wasn't as good. I mean, I still watch it, but it's still not as good. And then American Dad is much closer to my heart. Both those shows, though, they're the show that at midnight when the wife has gone to bed and I got a drink in front of me, I pop on and just enjoy it.
Yeah, that's the same here. Yeah, they're usually on pretty late at night. And they're just easy watching. That sort of thing. Even if you've watched an episode 4 or 5 times before, you can just put it on.
Yeah.
You know it's going to be good. yeah, I mean, while the football's a bit dull, I mean, for me, those cartoons, those series they always dip in quality a bit over time.
I'm
But the
surprised
one
The
that,
Simpsons has been on.
yeah, the one that's always stayed consistently funny for me has always been South Park.
Do you know that really, from an American standpoint, has, I think, really, like
Oh, really?
like when I was growing up, everybody would talk about it, and
Mm.
now maybe it's just because I'm 40 years old.
Probably. Yeah. But
All right, so we're in the 43rd minute here, 1-0 France. The goal came, about 40 minutes ago, really, and ever since then, it's kind of been a little nice back and forth. Ball possessions 55% to Morocco. They each only have one shot on goal, but one of those went in for the French.
I don't think it's been a bad game at all. I think it's been pretty good. I think it's been more enjoyable than the start of that Argentina-Croatia game.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
obviously you saw an early goal, but you can definitely see, like, you can see a lot more, as I say, intent and purpose in the way Morocco play, and then you've got the way the French are just trying to hit them on the break and counter-attack. It does make it. I think it's been quite an interesting game so far. But Morocco come forward with a lot of pace down the again hitting that French left-hand side. Is that behind for a corner to Morocco?
It is. No. Yes.
It is, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, like Hakimi, one of the real outlets for Morocco at fullback, but PSG right back. So much pace down the side. That was actually a really good bit of defending by Kanate, who got that out for a corner. But again, Morocco definitely showing signs of life. Got a corner now. Wouldn't it be great if Morocco got an equaliser here? Hakim Ziyech over the corner. Whipped in. Decent ball in. Headed away at the near post. And a bicycle kick ever hits the post. Out of absolutely nowhere. Oh, what a goal that would have been. Edge of the box shot. And is that deflected wide for a corner? No, it's deflected wide for a... That was Unahi. Not sure who had the overhead kick. But what France just sort of stand still and let him do it. It comes absolutely out of nowhere. Lloris was beaten, but unfortunately for Morocco, it hits the post. What a goal that would have been. I think actually Lloris saves it.
That's nuts. That's nuts.
Yeah, it's a combination of the Lloris and the post, but what an effort by... That's actually the centre-back, El Yamik, from Morocco. Would have been a screamer of a goal. But it certainly has just shown you that Morocco are in this game and they are not just laying down and going to let France beat them. They are going to fight tooth and nail to get back into this one, which is really good to see.
I need to know your answer to this. In America, when you're growing up, if I do that at like 18 years old, like at what time is that not considered a dangerous kick? Because like in America, if you do that as a kid in the box or even like in high school, maybe even in college, they'll call that like a dangerous play. Is that ever something that happens? I see another corner.
I will answer that. I will answer that, but we've got exciting breaking news because it is another corner to Morocco. It's for me, again, this comes back to inconsistencies of the referees. It depends on. It's a judgment call of whether they think anybody's around you or whether you've endangered a player. But good ball in, but this time Lloris on the second attempt does catch the ball. But a good ball in again from Ziyech into a very dangerous area. It's a shame no one was up there attacking the ball. It kind of went over the big crowd of players. And then you had Hakimi challenging with Lloris, and Lloris is always going to win that one. Nearly coming up to half-time in this one. But yeah, yeah, the answer is 1 week it probably will be a free kick. The next week it won't be.
Well, because if you go all the way back to the start of the tournament, one of the best goals of the tournament was that same situation, right?
Was it
with Brazil?
Oh yeah. Forgot about that one.
Oh. Who was that? Was that Richarlison?
That was Richarlison.
Yeah.
But Morocco coming forward again down that left-hand side, it definitely is a weak link for France and a strength for Morocco down that side of the pitch. And throw into Morocco, can they fashion one final chance before we go into half-time? It is with Hakimi. He's fouled, and that is going to be a free kick. So Morocco do get that final chance to throw a ball in the box here. Don't like to see Boufal doing the card gesture, trying to get another player booked. But while he's on a yellow card, he shouldn't be doing things like that because the referee can sometimes send people off for doing that. Yeah, the Richarlison. I mean, yeah, it's all about that one. The Moroccan guy did may have been called for dangerous play more than the Richarlison one because there were less players around Richarlison and where that Moroccan guy was kind of doing it in a crowded penalty area. Great ball in. Paris has to do really well and punch it clear, and France will probably see this one out as there is another foul on Amrabat, and Morocco might get one final chance to again throw a ball in the box here. Morocco won a penalty, do they?
What?
Morocco won a penalty for holding in the box. I don't think you're going to get that one. Looked like he was falling over. He wanted it for he thought the French defender was holding him as the ball came in and blocking his run, but I don't think you're going to get that. It wasn't really much in it, but good ball in again from Ziyech. It was a very intelligent run in behind. That was by the substitute, actually, but it's just out of his reach. I actually think Morocco played really well in that first half, but they go in 1-0 down. And I guess if we're looking for the whole tournament, that's not a bad result.
Yeah, we'll talk about this before we come on air for the second half, but yeah, and then there's that little last play, man. It could have. I mean, there's been chances. There's been a ton of chances for both teams to probably France to put up another goal and for Morocco to level this one up. If you had to bet at this point who the next team based off the last 10 minutes was going to get the next goal, I would say it's Morocco. But who knows what adjustments are made at halftime. I'm going to go make adjustments during my halftime, get some more water. You go get some tea. And guys, make sure you smash that like button. Stick around. We'll be right back for the second half.
Do you see any of that Gio Reyna, Greg Berhalter fallout?
Oh yeah, I mean, I knew that was coming. You could definitely see that coming after. In fact, I read an article today where do you remember the name of the guy who I always wanted to come into the game and possibly score a goal? The States,
What?
Jordan Morris.
Yeah, I did forget his name. Yeah, go on.
So I read an article about this, that in that first game against Wales, the one where Morris did come in rather early, that was the beginning of the end with Reyna, where he could not believe that's where they went to instead of bringing him in.
I mean, it's quite baffling, really.
Yeah. Who's he play for? What German team?
Plays for Borussia Dortmund, so it's not like he plays for a low league. It's not like he plays for a low down Bundesliga side like Mainz or like Hoffenheim. Plays for like one of the top sides.
Yeah,
and he's been every time I've seen Dortmund, like he's always been very influential. He's always been a starter. He's always a guy who creates chances, scores goals. Like you would think he'd be an absolute banker, or one of the first names on the team sheet. And I would actually say if most people you're picking America's strongest side are going to have Reyna in it.
Yeah, but we talk about this all the time with some of these managers, and I don't know if everybody. And this isn't just in soccer. This is in football and American football and NHL and NBA, everything. It seems like I feel like the pressure. And listen, I've dealt with this myself, and I'm sure you've dealt with this. Let's take it just to a basic human being. When you have maybe a job opportunity or something comes up and you have to make a decision, sometimes you overthink that, I mean, and maybe that's just exactly what he did, Also, from a professional betting standpoint, I'll tell you this. There's times where I'm in a rut. Luckily, I haven't been in a rut for now like a long time, but there are times that I have been in a rut betting where I sit there and I'm like, this is going to win. And then I'm like, but I haven't been winning. So maybe I need to do the complete opposite of what I do. And then in the end, I was wrong again,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I guess.
I don't know. What do you think's going to come of it? You think he's going to get the heave ho?
Who is there much call for him to leave?
Well, I mean, it's a heavily criticized move over here. Why Reyna didn't play that much?
I don't know. I don't know what the they don't talk about too much over here, so I don't really hear. I just heard that there was a fallout. I haven't heard too many things about saying that Berhalter might lose his job.
Not lose his job, but I think if he doesn't produce results and he keeps making some suggestions. I mean, remember before the tournament even started, some of the players that were on the team, like what was his name? I can't remember the forward, but he was a weird call.
Yeah, there's a few like left field picks, weren't there? But
so
I mean,
anyways,
and most of the time, whether you like someone, whether you don't like somebody, it's results dictate everything, don't they?
Yeah.
So,
but we are moments from two teams that are still in the tournament, France and Morocco. France scored in that 5th minute right off the bat, and then it was from that moment on. It seemed to be Morocco had more possession. In fact, they ended at 56% for the first half. They had more shots on goal. They had 2-1. They had more free kicks. Each of them had 2 corners in that first half. It looked like Morocco in the last 10 minutes were the team that was going to score next. But I've seen this a million times happen. France could come out and just dominate this second half. I mean, the adjustments could be made. What are your thoughts? What do you think happens here as the players are coming back on for the second half?
I don't think there's been any changes. I think just trying to see. I don't think there's been any substitutions at halftime, so I don't think either side's going to change too much of the way they were playing. I'd actually say both sides would be pretty pleased with the way they played so far. Yeah. Morocco.
I do see a change. Here. Mazraoui is off. Atiat Allah is on.
Okay, so that's another one of those ones we talked about with fitness. Mazraoui was an injury concern coming into this game, and it was Atiat Allah who played in the quarterfinal. Played all right, actually, played well. But so that one's going to be a like for like change, but more down to probably the fitness of Mazraoui more than anything else.
Well, we are under it.
That's 2 substitution windows that Morocco have used now due to players not being fit. So that really limits what they'll be able to do to change this game moving into the second half.
Yeah, they only have one more. One more. So it'll be interesting to see when they take that. And now, as always, I'm going to start talking about will we see the aggression?
Well, it's when they take it and how many subs they make as well, because they can make up to 3 in the next window, and it's whether how many. You almost feel like he does have to roll the dice and make all 3 changes. And bring all 3 substitutes on at once now if they are still trailing. So it's really not.
I do see 3 people warming up on the sideline.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those ones. It's not the best move, really. It's not. That's very unlucky for Morocco, or very poorly judged to take a risk on those players as France break a line and get the ball to Mbappe, who's one-on-one. He glides past Amrabat in behind. Mbappe with a poor cross from Mbappe, comes out wide, shot from distance. Morocco get the bodies behind. That's the first time in the game, I can remember, actually probably was one in the first half, where Mbappe got in behind and was running one-on-one with somebody, and they just could not stop him there. It was lucky that his cross was a pretty poor one for his standards.
Yeah, I would have liked to see that kept on the ground.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely went over everybody's head. But we've seen a bit of France early pressure. They got a goal early on in the first half. Will they be able to get a goal early on in the second half? And you'd pretty much think kill this game off at 2-0. And they will looking like they want to get that job done earlier than later. As a lovely ball inside the Griezmann, wonderful ball in behind. And it's just a little bit overhit, and Mbappe can't get on it, and Bono is able to come out and claim it. Looks like there was a collision, and Bono's gone down as if he's really badly hurt. He's probably not. And but another example, France stepped it up a notch in the opening 2 or 3 minutes of this half with a couple of nice passages of play, one with Mbappe, one with Griezmann. And but they're looking more the aggressors at the start of this second half.
Yeah, they sure are, and they do want to come out and put this away. Although there's been an extraordinary number, I think, of matches in this World Cup where teams have been up 2 goals and they have lost that lead.
Yeah,
and we just saw one with Argentina and Netherlands there in the quarters.
We did see that one, but we did see that when Argentina went 2-0 up in the semi-final, that they kind of closed that game out pretty easily.
Yeah. Well, I would say that's I was going to say, I think that was to a lower level team, and then in my head I'm like, well, the Moroccans are that lower level team.
Yeah.
FIFA ranking specifics.
Very different. I mean, again, Morocco played Croatia, didn't they? And it was a 0-0 draw. But Morocco, again, nice little move. Again, it's down where they've had a lot of joy is down their right, the French left. And that is kept in by Hakimi. He can cross it in from deep. It's not a great cross. And France might be able to launch a counter-attack here. But Morocco do well to stop them. And it looks like it's going to be back with Morocco with possession in midfield. Amrabat just playing it back into the back line. But they don't mess around with the ball, and that's great to see. They get the ball instantly forward, and it is out with Hakimi again, who's got Ziyech outside him on this right-hand side. He's one-on-one with the centre defender. Can he get a cross in? He can, but again, it's not the best cross, and France are able to clear. But it is just coming back in a bit of a wave here as Morocco keep coming forward. It's the first time we've seen them in the second half put a bit of pressure on the French. Again, it's repelled. Again, it comes back. Just whether, let's see if Morocco, it'd be good if Morocco can sort of fashion this into a goal-scoring chance because it's good possession. Just
So I
looks
thought
like
I thought that was a foul near the midfield
Mm.
as it came out, but I guess not.
But again, lovely 1-2 between Hakimi and Ziyech, but good defending by the French. Those two link up so well down this right-hand side. France looking to get this ball away with Mbappe, who's just got so much pace. What a run from Mbappe. He's beat two players down the left-hand side. Amrabat comes across. Whoa. Okay, you'll make your call on that, but Amrabat's come through Mbappe quite in a heavy challenge. It looks either a wonderful challenge, the referees let it go, or it could be a pretty heavy foul.
In the
Mbappe
box?
is down injured. That's a good tackle.
Oh, jeez. Oh, I can't believe they let that go.
Yeah.
That's on Mbappe too, right?
That's on Mbappe, and Mbappe's down hurt. It looks like actually it's not that bad of a tackle when you see it on replay. And Amrabat certainly gets plenty of the ball, but it's an aggressive tackle that he goes through Mbappe with a lot of force on his trailing leg, I think. And Mbappe's hurt here, and this is a worry for France if he's injured. But those are the sort of challenges you do normally see given as free kicks, just because of the force that he goes through a player in.
So I'm reading the closed caption on the States on the announcers here, and they 100% think that's a foul.
Yeah, you do normally see them given as fouls just because of the aggressive nature of it. But back when I was a wee pup of a lad, those sort of tackles were like usually just like amazing bits defending.
Yeah. Now, how much of this is overacting by Mbappe to sell the foul rather than him actually being hurt?
Yeah, I think you never know. I think he was a bit hurt. I think he was.
Oh, there's the sombrero again.
I think he was. I think he was hurt by that one, but not. I think he's.
He can carry
Great
on.
ball in, Morocco with a chance. Oh, it's come all the way across. He's miskicked it, and it's gone. France can clear, but again, all this pressure is coming down. France have got to do something to stop this attack. This is a wave of attacks, always coming down the Moroccan right with Ziyech and Hakimi. And again, they get a good ball in. It's missed by En-Nesyri at the front, and then a chance, I think, maybe for Boufal. But they come down the left this time. Morocco got to turn this into a shooting chance. Great defending by the French again. This is great play for Morocco. They're putting so much pressure on this French back line, but unfortunately, they just can't get a shot on goal. Amrabat fires well wide from the edge of the box, but France are under pressure, and Morocco are playing some great football here.
You know, if they're going to score, I'd rather have this come earlier than later.
Yeah. Really good defending. I think that's by that was by the defender Konate. Really good block in there to get. Otherwise, that would have been a tap in for maybe Ziyech coming in at the back post.
Can we talk about the patience he had to wait for that pass too? He stood there and let his runners come in front of him. He stands there and just great patience there.
Yeah, really, really. But just again, talk about it. There's a lot of sides There's a lot of sides that we've seen playing this World Cup that don't play with a lot more high-profile players than what Morocco have got. But they don't play with half the intent that Morocco play with, and it's very refreshing to see that the way they just they don't mess around with it. They just get it forward, and they get the ball into the areas, and they try and get the balls into the box as often as they can, and try and create goal-scoring chances.
You know, I hope Croatia's watching this, because this is how Croatia should have played yesterday against Argentina.
Again, trademark Morocco play, wonderful switch of play from left to right to get down that right-hand side. Nice little 1-2 between Ziyech and Hakimi, but that is blocked off. Could have been a foul, but France clear. But France are really on the back foot here, and it is just a wave on wave of Moroccan attacks. You get the feeling a French counterattack is around the corner, but at the moment, Morocco are in control of this game.
I thought that should have been
in search for an equalizer.
I would have liked to see a foul called there.
Yeah. So Morocco might try and come down the left-hand side. It's not a good ball in. France might be able to get a counter-attack away, but good block in there stops the counter-attack by Boufal, but it is behind for a French throw-in. Yeah, you see Morocco and Croatia played out a 0-0 draw at the start of the tournament. I don't think I watched too much of that game, but definitely a huge contrast in styles between the two sides, the way they play.
In fact, with the exception of the first maybe 5 minutes, these last 5 minutes, France is kind of playing how Croatia played yesterday.
Yeah, I think you see a little bit of like that was the first game for Morocco, so maybe there was a little bit of just kind of feeling their way into the tournament a little bit.
Yeah.
You get the feeling if they played this Croatia side now, they'd be a lot more aggressive against them and almost maybe feel that they would have a lot more confidence to go on and beat them. So maybe it's a fact of like the fact you're seeing the confidence in this Morocco side come out a lot more as again they're down the right-hand side. Got to get just the ball is just not rolling for them in terms of like getting that final shot in on goal, but they are creating so much pressure and they just are not letting France get out. They are winning that ball back high. Again, it's Hakimi round the outside. Is it going to be a corner kick? It's given as a goal kick. It looked like a corner to me. But this is really encouraging. France, you get the feeling have got to change something. They've got to stop that overload down that right-hand side. They've got to almost try and get another body in there to stop it. Because at the moment, Morocco have got them penned in and France just cannot get control of this game.
Yeah, this is a bit surprising that they've come out and stolen this.
Yeah.
I mean, they're 80% in the second half right now with possession.
But this is just where Morocco. You're seeing like the confidence in the Moroccan side, aren't you? Where it's like, yeah, it's the game of their lives, but they're not. But they're not going to go. They're not just going to. If they lose this game, they're not going to lose this game without, giving France a scare or like taking the game to them, and they're going to go down fighting, sort of thing. What is probably a better way of saying it. They're not just going to. Which is great to see. Which is what you want to see. You want to see both sides giving it 100%. Which again, going back to the Croatian game, they went out with a whimper yesterday.
To be quite honest, I think they might have underestimated the physicality that Morocco would have too.
I don't know if they underestimated it, but it's one thing knowing about it. It's another thing dealing with it. It's very hard to play against it. They're absolutely like whenever a France player gets the ball, you've got two Moroccan players around it, swarming around them. Being very aggressive, and it's difficult to deal with.
Sure, yeah.
And then when Morocco have got the ball, the passing either through long passing or short passing is very quick. It's very incisive, and France are just in a very much in a stage where they just need the game to slow down and try and regroup.
France wants that second goal. They're just not really caring to get it.
You need a. This is. I mean, I feel England do this to France a little bit though, didn't you? You did see England sort of pen France back, and France looked a little bit.
I feel like the more this game goes on, though, the farther France starts sitting back, and it's just going to continue to be an onslaught of Moroccan shots, chances, and just counters by France.
I think Deschamps needs to make a change. I think you got Dembele up there for France, who's done very little in that wide right position. I think you need to sort of maybe change it, bring another midfield player on to sort of help them out. Maybe you could just put Mbappe up front with Giroud.
Sure.
Because at the moment, Morocco are just getting in time and time again. And you get the feeling it is just a matter of time before they do create a good goal-scoring chance. But as I say that looks like offside. Maybe it looks like Mbappe might be running in on goal, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be offside. Yeah, it is. And you're going to be annoyed when you see that because they've let the play go to the point where France would have won a corner, but then the offside flag goes up.
Of course.
I hate that rule. That's one rule I really hate.
What, them playing on?
The fact that it's clearly offside and they play on.
Yeah.
And then,
well, that you mean because you use the word clearly, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, but that was clearly. I mean, I could. That was so obvious he was offside.
Yeah,
Why do you need to play on another 30 seconds to play when you could just put the flag up?
Also, what's Mbappe doing? Just hold on. Yeah, I mean he's what 3.5 yards.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. It wasn't very good. Wasn't very, and also not a good ball from Giroud because you should have been able to clearly see that he was offside as well. He could have held on to it. He wasn't under any pressure. But again, Morocco try that wide switch from right to left. It's not a good ball, and Griezmann can bring the ball out of defence, and he wins a bit of a tactical foul there. Not surprising to see him stay down. Probably will call for the trainer to come on, so France can take a couple of minutes out of this game.
We're already doing this in the 61st minute. Come on, guys.
Yeah, but I think they need to do it now because they need a bit of a. They just need a bit of a. They need this game to just slow down because Morocco are in full steam ahead mode, and France at the moment can't really deal with it. Matt, we've had a chat message.
Oh, finally. Who is it? What's up, Al?
There you go.
Oh, Al, you're welcome, sir. Yeah, it was a good one, and we almost hit that 6-pack parlay yesterday, man. We should have had it, to be honest with you. UMass Lowell went to overtime, ended up losing. But yeah, thank you for jumping on and saying hi, Al. Appreciate it. Hope you're having a great day. But yeah, so we'll see what France does here, Ian. I don't think I think you're gonna be spot on with your score prediction, because I just don't see them really caring about scoring another goal, and Morocco's really taking it to them offensively here.
The more and more it goes on, the more and more Morocco are going to commit bodies forward, so there is going to be susceptible to the French on the break. But at the moment, Morocco are doing a really wonderful job. Again, it's all down this right-hand side. They are just getting in time and time again. France have got a lot of bodies back in the centre, and they're doing a good job of dealing the ball when it does come in. But it just seems that they're going to get in every single time when they attack down French left and Moroccan right. And I'm surprised that France haven't made a change yet to sort of try and nullify that a bit more.
Yeah.
Because again, you've got Hakim Ziyech now. He's one-on-one with a defender with a crossing chance. It's a good ball in. It's just headed away very well by Varane. And France are hoping to get up the pitch now with Mbappe, who can start another driving run, but two players are around him. He does get France up the pitch, though. It is a throw into France just over the halfway line.
Gotta get the back.
For me, this is great. The one thing we didn't want in this game is a boring blowout, a bit like what we saw yesterday. This is a much more edgy seat game. Could still go either way. And full credit to Morocco for really taking the game to France.
100%. Got to get the bag says both teams to score. You told us that bet is for today. Hey, I'm waiting on it. I'd love it, actually. I really would love that to happen. And Morocco looks strong here, but France has when's the last time France lost a lead in the World Cup?
Well, England pegged them back, didn't they? They haven't lost a game from a winning position. But
they didn't lose. They didn't lose the lead or the.
They were 1-0 up against Denmark, and Denmark scored. They were 1-0 up against England, and England scored. But they went on to win both of those games. So they haven't lost the game from a winning position. And I would be surprised if they've lost a game from a winning position. You probably have to go back quite far to the last time that even happened ever.
I saw a stat that said they've won 15 of the last 17 games in knockout rounds.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Well, I mean that's the thing. They're an amazing side. They won the last World Cup. They had a bit of a freak defeat to Switzerland in the Euros, where they were winning the game quite comfortably, and then they got pretty like this one, really. Switzerland just kind of got back into it. Switzerland went through on penalties, but you didn't really see it. Was a very much France kind of blowing it rather than Switzerland outplaying them. So they are very much a
Ian,
probably the best side in world football.
I did look back. There have been 2 teams that have won back-to-back World Cups. It was before England actually won their World Cup.
Okay.
Brazil did it once right before England won theirs, and then Italy in the second and third World Cup ever.
Oh, okay, right.
But still, something that does rarely happen.
Yeah, and you wouldn't expect it to happen, really. You wouldn't expect it to happen all that often. You 4-year cycle of a team. You've got so many strong countries now around the world. You've probably got so much more strength in depth than you had back then, that you wouldn't expect the same country to come and win it 2 years in a row, for two
We are going to
tournaments
see
in a row.
subs here.
Yeah.
Did you just bring in one on in the last?
Two substitutions, I think.
Okay. And Giroud's off.
I think Abakaho is like a right winger. So whether he'll come on and play right wing, there's another thing. I didn't see the other one who came on. I hope it's a striker.
The other one is Handalala.
Oh yeah, that is. Oh yeah, cool. So that's who I was hoping they would bring on, actually. So you got a right winger and who's probably going to play left wing, because they've got pretty much strength down the right, and you've got a centre forward up there in Hamdallah as well. So Morocco do get a bit of joy from that left hand side for the first time we've seen in a while. Cross comes in, it's over the head though, and Lloris gathers.
With Thurman coming on and taking Giroud off, that's a defensive play there.
I should pay more attention, really, didn't I? I didn't even see it. Well, Thuram's come on, as he for Giroud.
Yeah,
that's a like-for-like change.
Okay.
Marcus Thuram is a forward, but he's a bit more mobile than Olivier Giroud. Will give France a bit more pace up front, but he can still do the decent hold-up work that Giroud does as well. So yeah, not really blocking the, not really plugging up the gaps that we thought France, that certainly other sides would probably look to do.
Sure.
But France have won a free kick high up. I think that is Marcus Thuram. He's gone down, wins a free kick off Hakimi with a push in the back, and France have an opportunity to load one into the box here.
By the way, I triple checked the World Cup next time, and it's 48 teams.
Oh wow, is it? Okay.
Yeah, it is 48 teams, which the way I've read that is going to play out in possibly 16 groups of 3, where the top 2 in each group go through to a 32 bracket.
Yeah, quite nuts, really, isn't it? I was going to talk to you about something about that yesterday, and we never got round to it. So France with a chance here, ball in the box, great block by the Moroccans, and can't get the second header, and it looked like it's offside anyway, and France good. But that was the first time we've seen France with a goal-scoring chance in a while. So Europe will have 16 teams. Africa will have 9. Asia will have 8. South America will have 6. CONCACAF will have 6, which includes the 3 host nations. Brilliant run from Dembele coming forward. But that is snuffed out by Morocco, and they get the ball back. But that was a very, looked like that could be one of those runs where he's taking on the whole team. So CONCACAF will have Canada, USA and Mexico, and then 3 other sides in there as well. And there will be 1 country from Oceania, which will almost certainly be New Zealand.
So then from CONCACAF, I could see that it's going to be Costa Rica, Panama, and in my opinion, Trinidad and Tobago.
Yep, you've talked about them already. Not Guadeloupe.
I don't think no. Or Martinique.
Cayman Islands.
Grenada.
France have just come back into the game. This substitution of Thuram is kind of like helped them out a little bit. He's made a couple of nice little runs forward. He wins a free kick. Be it a very cynical foul. Not be surprised if that's not a yellow card, actually. I think that's probably why one of the subs.
Oh, that has to be a yellow card.
I don't think it was though.
I don't think it was either.
And so France have just freshened it up a little bit. Those subs have made a little bit of a difference, and they're starting to show a bit more attacking intent. Griezmann, we're over this free kick. Again, another game where we haven't seen an Mbappe shot yet.
I know. Is that because of Morocco's defense?
Actually, he did have a shot, didn't he? He's had one, I think.
I don't think he did.
Didn't he have one that was cleared off the line?
But are they counting that? It wasn't cleared off the goal line. It was really cleared off the 6-yard line.
Oh, they don't count that as a shot of goal, even though it was clearly going in.
I don't know. I'd have to look at I'll have to look at his stats. I think
I'll have a look in a second. Good ball in. It looked like a French guy was going to win that all day long, and in fact, it was. That was Kanata. No, it was Turan again. And is that going to be a cut? I tell you, it looked like France should have scored from that. It looked like they won the header. I'm not sure whether it was somebody who just misheaded it, but that was a good chance. Good ball in. Should have done a lot better with the header.
Yeah, they should have done a lot better. But it looks like the sub now has given a little spark to the French game.
Yeah, they look a bit fresher, don't they? Like they've kind of Morocco look a little bit like they've been pushed back a little bit, but that's like natural kind of ebbs and flows in the game. I mean, you wouldn't expect France to be overrun for the whole of the second half. You'd expect them to have their little moments where they're on top. You'd imagine Morocco might be kind of getting a bit of a second wind for a late surge in the final 10 minutes or so.
All right, we're 18 minutes away from the 90 mark. Now I'm going to start talking about the urgency you need to have. Like,
according to my stats, Mbappe has had one shot on goal.
All right, well that's good. I don't think he'll get another.
But again, he's not. It's unlikely they're going to bring him off. So he's not going to get substituted. I wouldn't have thought. Unless
you think they'll bring Griezmann out?
I wouldn't have thought they'd probably bring him off either. If France do get a second goal, though, they probably might, because they might be like resting him for the final. But I imagine they're probably going to stay on. So if the game does stay 1-0 late on, you'd imagine France will get some counter-attacking options, which brings Mbappe in to the game to get a second shot on goal, or get a goal. I would imagine probably Dembele will be the next one they bring off, or maybe one of the central midfield players.
Yeah, I think Morocco needs to do something here. You know, in the last 10 minutes, it's been all France, to be honest. And I don't care if you want to. This is it. This is your life.
Yeah.
You're out of the tournament. Like, let's start doing something here, boys. Be a little more aggressive.
Marcus Thuram down the right-hand side. Nice ball inside to, I think that is inside to Fofana, who made a lovely run actually into midfield, but terrible shot on goal. And maybe Morocco start this attack to get the ball in play quickly, can maybe catch France on the counter here with their usual play down the right-hand side with Hakimi. Gets the ball into Nahi, but lovely little ball inside to Ziyech, just cut out, but good ball in, and France do clear it as well. But Morocco still showing signs of life in this game. But again, I'll just say it's when France do step it up and they do sort of show a bit more intent and a bit more kind of put a bit of pressure on Morocco, it is difficult for Morocco to deal with it. I mean, you are playing against one of the best sides in the world, so you are going to have little periods where France are on top of you, not necessarily because you're playing badly, just because they're good.
There's been some bad passes here, though, by Morocco in their offensive third, really, as well.
They're trying to play some little intricate passes, aren't they? And it just kind of gets snuffed out.
But it brings me back to what I was saying about USA for most of their matches. Put the ball on the net. Like,
put the ball in, yeah.
You take it to, I think we're at the point where your triangle passes, your intricate passes, like now I think they're hitting the ball one too many times.
Here's a chance, Morocco. We've got to get a shot on goal here. oh, you're going to go nuts when you see this, Matt. You're going to be screaming, get a shot, get a shot. But Morocco still trying to get a cross into the box. But the main bit, I'm not sure if it was a Nesri or whether it was the other striker who'd come on. Looked like he had 3 or 4 chances to get a shot away. Delayed it. And eventually France were able to crowd him out. And France can break forward now themselves. You've got this outlet of Thuram on the left-hand side. Is coming forward. Well, I haven't seen Mbappe get involved in the last few minutes. Is he? Wait, is he still on? Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Is he playing more central up front now? He must be. Because I haven't seen Mbappe touch the ball.
Durman's on the left-hand side now.
Yeah, Thuram's playing wide left, which is a little surprising. But did you see that shot? Did you see the chance?
You mean the lack of? Yeah, it was ridiculous. Oh. How many touches do you want to touch the ball? Take your foot back and fire it.
Yeah, bloody frustrating, isn't it?
It's, when I played indoor soccer, we had a guy on our team who was the over dribbler, and he would do the same shit. He never wanted to shoot the ball. He wanted to walk the ball into the goal.
Yeah, we used to play with a guy like that as well. He'd almost just try and take everybody on and then go back and take them all on again. Yeah. It was annoying. But that was Hamdallah. That's the guy who's just come on as well. But there was a chance there a couple of chances there where he could have just put his foot through it. I don't know what he was waiting for, really.
We also had a guy he could have passed to on the left who was wide open who could have fired a shot. I mean,
great opportunity for Morocco, though, just to get in. But it's frustrating. It's just kind of, they were on the fringe of creating something, but they just either can't get the shot away or France shut the door on them. They're coming down the left-hand side now with a chance. Hamdallah again, not making all good in the build-up play, but he tries to hit a low cross into the box, but it's not very good, well executed, and it goes behind for a goal kick. Maybe we're seeing why he hasn't started too many games. Wait, what? Morocco made in another sub?
Yeah, I saw they had 1 sub left. I don't think they count the halftime as a window. Yeah. I was thinking about that because I did see they had 1 sub left, and I don't think they technically count the halftime as a window. Well, or if maybe it's not 3 windows, maybe it's just 5 subs total.
I think there is still windows, so you're probably right with that. You can make 1 at halftime. I think I've heard that before. Yeah. Dembele is going off. Morocco have made a sub, but Dembele is going off, which is a change I thought they would make. I thought he'd be.
Abdi came on for Morocco.
Okay. Let me just have a look at him.
Well, we're getting to the nitty-gritty of this because there's 13 plus stoppage, and there's not going to be much stoppage in this second half here for sure, unless for some reason we get a penalty kick.
Okay.
Just lead to excitement.
So that's Abdi's come on for Morocco. He's another wide wing player. So these are the attacking changes I thought they would make. They've kind of got their 3 main attacking options from the bench have all come on to this game now.
Hello, Bob. Welcome in.
France are coming forward, though, with Griezmann, who's got Thuram on the overlap. Can he get this ball into Mbappe in the middle? Goes back to Mbappe on the edge of the box. Mbappe twisted and turning, does get a shot, and it goes across goal, and it does go into the net. France have got that second goal. It has come. The pressure has told. In the end, it is 2-0 to France.
Let's go.
If there is an offside on that, I don't think that there is. But basically, Mbappe with a great bit of skill, but his shot was blocked. It rolled all the way across the goal to the number 12 from France, who I didn't actually see who that was.
And that is a second shot on goal for him.
If it's given.
Are we?
Well, that one was a block shot. So they might not give that one. But
I thought, never mind. Yeah, sorry. I'm just seeing it now because he wasn't the one that scored it.
No, Mbappe got the ball from Thuram. And then he wiggled. He did a brilliant job of actually getting what Mbappe did was great because he had 3 or 4 players around him, and he still managed to wriggle a bit of space and get a shot forward. He got a bit of luck because it deflected through to. Who is it? I'm not sure. I'm not. I can't see. That's the guy who's just come on, isn't it? It might be his first touch of the ball.
It's his first touch. Yeah, it's.
Who is it who came on? Sorry.
It's hold on. Let me pull it up. It's Molo something. Kolo Muani.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's well, you know what? Both again, and I don't want to be negative Nelly here on France's goals, but both had a very lucky bounce in the right direction.
Yeah, they did. You're absolutely right. They did get that bounce of the ball, and there's been a few times where where Morocco have had those chances, and the ball hasn't rolled their way. So they have had a little bit of on it. I don't think we've seen him too much, Kolo Muani, in this tournament. So, great for him to come on in a semi-final and get a goal. Very much an unknown player,
Yeah,
really.
So just a little background on him, what he's done this tournament in against England, he sat on the bench the entire game.
Yep.
Against Poland, he sat on the bench the entire game. Tunisia, he came in the 90th minute, that just tells you that. And then against Denmark and Australia, he was on the bench. So this guy has played literally probably 3 minutes in the World Cup, and he's got a goal.
I mean, it's an inspired substitution. Really, it's paid off. But it's really weird. You'd have thought Kingsley Coman would have been the one that would come on really instead of him. But doesn't really matter. France have got that second goal. It looks like it's very hard to see Morocco coming back into this one. We could get another 3-0 scoreline here. What we saw in the other semi-final, because I would imagine that's taken a lot of wind out of the sails, and with only 9 minutes left, yes, it's pretty much all she wrote, you would say.
But Ian, what I'm excited about, and I don't want to get too far ahead because we do have 10 minutes or so left in this game, but we're going to see Messi and Mbappe in a final.
Well, luckily for you guys, I've got a Grandstand Bettors exclusive, and by popular demand, we've decided that we are going to only stream the 3rd and 4th place playoff and not the final, because we think Croatia-Morocco is going to do gangbusters views.
Now, everybody that's been here for the last month with you in live stream knows that's not true, because God forbid you watch a game during Oxford's game. But you're actually going to the match? I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, shit, I'm actually going as well.
Yeah.
So I can't do that one.
Yeah, you'll be at the Oxford United match.
Yeah, I'll be live streaming live from Hillsborough as I watch Sheffield Wednesday. Pardon?
Are you going to be live streaming that?
No, I was just saying I'm going to live stream with you while I'm sat in Hillsborough.
Oh, well, it might be better. You're going to get destroyed there.
Yeah, probably are. Oxford are kind of draw kings at the moment, so I wouldn't be surprised if we come away with a 1-1 draw or something. But
now, just for entertainment reasons, as it is now a larger scoreline here. Okay, in America, you cannot go to any sporting events other than soccer and get a draw. So for the most part, people walk away from a game either happy or not happy.
Yeah.
What's the feeling if you go to that match and it's a draw? Like, how do you what's your emotions coming out of a game like that? It just ends in a draw.
Well, one thing, we're a bit more used to it, right? Because it's like we grow up with bit of extracurricular activity going on between the French and Moroccan players. A bit of bit of pushing and shoving, but
not nearly as bad as Netherlands, Argentina.
No, not nearly as bad. Look, well, one thing, that the draw is a possible outcome in a game. So it's not like you grow up watching football and you see so many draws. It's not really, they're never the most amazing thing in the world, but it depends when you get it and how you get it. Like, you can be winning a game and you can concede a goal late and a draw can feel like a loss, or you can score a late goal, get a draw when you were losing, and that draw can feel like a win. So it's not, but generally it's a pretty kind of
I get that, and I enjoy, and I can see, like, if it's 2-1 in the 90 plus minute and your team scores, you could walk out feeling like a real winner. But what is the entire crowd of a 0-0 feel like?
Again, it depends on the thing, right? I mean, just to use, let's use for example England versus USA, 0-0 draw. England would have come away from that game feeling very much like that's a bit shit. No, not very good, not very exciting. Played a bit crap. Whereas America came away from that 0-0 draw feeling pretty positive, thinking, "Oh, good. If we beat Iran, we've qualified. We've got a 0-0 draw against we've drew with a very good team that we probably expected to lose against." So it's sometimes they can be. It depends on a lot of the circumstance. Like we saw famously, there was a headline saying USA beats England 1-1.
Yeah.
So it depends. Usually,
but I guess my question is from a spectator who pays to go. Like if I went to a hockey game and it was 0-0 and ended in a tie, I'd be like, this was a piece of shit.
Most of the time, you'd agree with that. I mean, there's again, if I just say, I'll go and use the example of this weekend's game, and I know it's a low level of football to use, but Sheffield Wednesday are a stronger side than my side, Oxford United. So going into that game, it's going to be a really tough game for Oxford to win or to get anything out of the game. So if it is 0-0 coming out of it, although it's not going to be the most exciting, I would at least be pleased that Oxford came away with something from the game.
Okay.
But I'm not going to be walking out of there bloody kicking my heels and dancing down the streets going, wow, what a spectacle I've just witnessed.
Yeah.
But that's the way football is. That's the way it's always been. So you kind of you're aware of that can happen.
Yeah, and luckily that doesn't happen in most sports for us.
Yeah, and I like that, and I like that about American sports. I think that is. I always like the fact that usually there is a winner and a loser.
Yeah,
and I think that.
Well, not nowadays. I mean, growing up, God, everybody with the generation that has now been bestowed upon us. God forbid a kid in fourth grade lose. Everybody needs trophies. I mean, you look at some of these 5-year-olds who are the worst sports athletes in the world, and you think they are literally a professional athlete at the age of 11 with has many trophies and medals they have on their shelves.
It's a bit ridiculous, isn't it? It's a bit. It's too ridiculous.
I think losing and how to take a loss is just as important as winning and how to be a good sport about winning as well. I don't understand the people out there who just think you should just give everybody a medal.
I think we're 100% on the same page there, and it's we both grew up in similar eras where it wasn't the case, and and through playing sports at that age, you did learn the value of how of winning was important and losing is important, and learning lessons from losing.
Yeah. Shout out to Dan. Hey man, how you doing? Hey, welcome in. What's up, buddy? Thanks for coming in. Smash that like button if you guys haven't already. We are 2-0 now. 89th minutes, 90th minute, really, actually, and this one is for the last 8 minutes been all but over, and we're just going to see how many more minutes we're going to have to wait. I'm guessing 3.
Yeah, Morocco with a shot on goal, but the flag's gone up for offside as I accidentally hit my remote and changed the channel. There we go. Yeah, I remember a couple of games. I remember a couple of games playing, and I wasn't young. I was like in the teenage years, but I remember giving away a penalty in the last minute, literally where the guy dived and he gave away the penalty.
Yeah,
they gave it as a penalty and we lost. And another one where they scored a goal late and I played everybody onside and they scored. And I remember people having a go at me and moaning at me and stuff like that. And those are just things you had to take.
Yeah.
You know, they kind of make you learn lessons for the next time, and then when you do get a victory, when you do get a good win, that means a lot because you've had bad experiences as well.
Yeah. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it. We've been live streaming all World Cup, and we got one more to go. Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern time in the States, which I believe is, 9:45. 9:45 will be on. And what time is that for you? That's like 1:45 p.m. In the UK?
What time? Sorry, what time is it your time?
9:45 a.m.
Oh, wow. Is it really that early?
I think so.
I thought it was like 3 p.m. my time.
I think it's at 10 a.m., if I'm not mistaken, for the final. But we will be here live streaming the final.
I've got the final at 3 p.m. UK. So that makes sense. That would be 10 p.m. your time. 10 a.m. your time. 3 p.m. my time.
Yeah.
And it's fine. And looks like we're going to get
6 minutes? 6 minutes? Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You could just blow for time now, referee. But look, look, I think Morocco played a decent game in this one. Look, they had a nightmare start. They went a goal down early doors, but they did give it a go. I would say you couldn't fault the effort that they put into the game. France are a better side than them. Mbappe, he just went on he looked like he was going to take a shot then, and he tried to take on one too many player, and Morocco kind of crowded him out. But the quality of the French side has just been a bit too strong for them on the day. But I think the overall thing is, we've said in terms of the final, a France-Argentina final is a lot better spectacle.
Yeah, we're going to get it. I still am going to say that the quarters and the semis felt diluted. It didn't seem like it I feel like the live streams we did in the group stage with the games we picked out were just more interesting than what we've seen here in the quarters and the semis.
Oh, fucking hell. I mean, come on. Would you have rather have watched Croatia or Brazil yesterday?
Well, my wife would have rather watched Croatia.
I know you've got vested interest in that, but it's like
but you know what? Croatia, I can't stand watching Croatia. They're not a fun team to watch.
They're not the most exciting side to watch.
Which I find interesting, though, because I don't know if you ever watch any HNL or whatever the league is there in Croatia. I think it's HNL. But the top Croatian league was Zagreb and Split. That's actually, those are very fun games to watch. I can't believe it's on your left foot. Take a shot. Morocco is killing me here.
But they don't. But that's the trouble, though. Most of the best Croatian players play outside of those leagues, and so they play in that more. Not all of them. There's still a few Zagreb and Split players that are in that Croatian squad.
True.
But, lovely run from Morocco. Are they going to get a goal? Consolation goal back here. Goes all the way through to Lloris. They pull it back, and it's on the goal. Oh my God, Matt, you're going to pull your hair out. I'll let you describe it.
Well, it started from the back.
If that would have gone in, we would have had at least a little 2 minutes of grandstand finish where Morocco would have just literally thrown everybody would have just been up front. But how have Morocco not scored there? How have Morocco not scored?
Oh my God. And it just sits on the foot of the French defender on the line and gets cleared off. That is ridiculous.
When you look about bounce of the ball and rub of the green and things like that, when you think about the two French goals that they scored, where the ball bounced really nicely for them to have to. Well, the first goal was a good finish, but it bounced to the French guy, and the second one was a tap in. Morocco haven't had any luck in that department with a ball landing straight to their player, and although that is a gilt-edged chance. Seeing that again, he's hit the ball. It's gone deflected. It has come right through to En-Nesyri. It's come so quick. All he can do is just stick a knee at it. It's not. It's Hamdallah again, who's had so many chances since coming off. All he can do is stick a knee on it and direct it forward. And it's just unlucky that he can't get it past the defender on the goal line.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, I know it's really late, but even one goal back there would have just literally at least set up this kind of final hope spot
Yeah.
for this game. But France are going to get through to a final.
Messi and Mbappe. That's what we get to see on Sunday morning.
Messi and Mbappe. That is going to be a pretty bloody good final, you would think.
Early thoughts? Who takes it home?
Yeah,
I gotta say Argentina after watching these last two games.
I'd like to see Argentina win it. I think so.
Well, I think what we, talking about Argentina getting better as the World Cup's progressed here. Honestly, the way France played today, if you take the two kind of nicky-nack goals around, away, I think Argentina went out and won the game yesterday. I'm not saying France didn't, but it was a little bit more impressive by Argentina against, honestly, a better team.
Yeah, well, this is the end of the game. It is France 2, Morocco 0. It has ended. Again, I would just say that this is the best side Argentina would have played. Yeah. France is by far and away the best side that they would have played in this tournament. Mm-hmm. It'd be interesting to see how Argentina... I don't know how they're going to do it, but Argentina changed tactically to take on the Netherlands, and they changed tactically to take on Croatia. It'll be interesting what changes they make to take on the French, to try and nullify the French attacks, because it seems like Argentina are very much like, we're going to find a system that stops you from playing, and then we're just going to give Messi the ball, and eventually he's going to do something special.
Yeah, true. All right, guys, that does it for us. That's it. France is moving on to take on Argentina. Mr. Ian Allen and I will be back at 9:45 Eastern time in the morning on Sunday, the 18th. So join us back for that one, for the World Cup final, to just close the book on the 2022 World Cup. Everybody have a great rest of your week, and we will see you then. Bye, guys.